Man, check out all these fish. Which one to shoot? Sheephead, spadefish, snapper, everywhere. All right, welcome back, Charlotte Harbor Fishermen. Been waiting a long time to make this video, so if you're watching it, I guess it worked out to a degree. And I got the spear gun. I posted a video a long time ago when I first got it. Then summer came and the water gets warm and it gets cloudy and murky. But it's a warm for February day. It's a warm day and water is cold, but we've got some good clarity, good incoming tide. I'm gonna take the spear gun and snorkel around these mangroves, islands, and around the oysters, and let's see if we can get some mullet or sheephead or maybe a big snapper. But anyway, I'm super excited. Let's jump in, get wet, and try not to get too cold. Okay, so here's what I got. I'll reintroduce this gun. Second video I've made with it. It's Koa. It's called the Grover, and the gun is designed for murky water. Shoot from the hip. Shallow, short range shots. So no big long shots at wahoo or anything like that out in the deep blue sea, but perfect for in here. So let's see if we can get something. All right, guys, welcome below the waterline. I spent a few minutes actually casting the net, walking around this hole, and I saw a couple sheephead, and a few mullet, but I was really surprised when I dunked my head underwater here at what was literally almost at my feet. The further I swam into this hole, getting up closer to the mangroves, the more fish just kept coming. I mean, I had at first when I dove in, I was just ready to shoot. I wasn't sure if it was just one school and if they were going to take off, but I relaxed and just started to look for a little better fish, and the more I swam, the more they came. I mean, look at these big ones here on the bottom. A couple of them came through, and they were so big that they actually start to lose some of their striping and look more like a black drum. At first I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but these are just some absolute monster sheephead. The bigger ones stick to the bottom, but as you'll see, that they come up as well, far less skittish than the snapper, and just made for a really cool dive. As I got in further, a big cloud of spadefish come up right here. You'll start to see them coming in. They were just borderline. I mean, I could have shot one there, but they were kind of on the small side. They would have definitely been a little tricky, but if there was nothing else there, I would have been able to. There's one of those big sheephead at the top of the screen. But this was so cool. I just couldn't believe how much life was in this hole. I mean, it's a pretty good size pocket, but I just didn't know. I just had no idea that this many fish were in there. I fished it a few times, and you catch a few sheephead here and there, but anyway, I'm just right now just trying to settle down, relax, and find a fish that I want to take. Kind of waiting for one of those bigger fish to come up off the bottom, but eventually I just take whatever I can get. A lot of these sheephead were keepers. There was plenty of keeper sheephead, but I figured if I'm gonna take it with the spear gun, I'll just select a good sized fish, and I was only gonna get two. I decided I was just gonna take home two fish, but I'll just sit back here, grab a hold of this mangrove branch, and right here I'm just now underneath the overhang, and this is where the fish, it was just crazy. I don't even know how many fish are in front of me, but really I'm just kind of taking it easy and enjoying the scenery. You'll see a couple snapper here and there flash through, not many at all, and the few that did come through were really nice size. current was flowing in my face, so I'm holding on. Got a pretty good little spot here, just letting the fish come to me. So right here, I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on a couple. There goes a nice snapper. And I just figured just enough playing around. There's a good sized spadefish right there, actually. Next fish that comes within range, I'm going to pop him. I tell you what, targeting these snapper is far easier, or targeting the sheephead is a whole lot easier than the snapper. Big side, big fish, just moving very slowly around. Man, look at that one right there in the center of the screen. Oh yeah, that's the one I took. There you go. I forgot. So I tried this gun out last spring and just trying to shoot snapper that were barely legal, and it was tricky, but not so hard when a big sheephead just swims right in front of you. Got a pretty good shot on him and just brain him and bleed him right there, and swim back over to my little net I've got hooked up over to a mangrove branch. But first time I pulled the trigger on that spear gun in a long time, and I like it. You just put it on your hip. You don't reach out and extend as you would, if you were out in the Gulf, but you're in short range, murky water. Just pull the trigger and see what happens. Heck yeah. Man, I cannot believe how many sheephead are under there. Huge sheephead. Much bigger than this guy. But, check that out. Nice freaking sheephead. There are some monster sheephead under there. I think I'm going to take one more and then maybe see if I can get a snapper, but I got to get moving because some incoming tide. Just got a little net here, holding them in. It is cold. This water is cold. Man, gotta get a wetsuit. But that was awesome. Super stoked. Let's try to do it again. All right, so I couldn't have been more excited about doing this. Got a fish right away. Didn't spook the fish at all. They were more curious than anything. Got back out there, but I'm really starting to get cold. It was a fairly warm day, not bad. I had to wear the jacket running out there, of course, but I would have been fishing just with that shirt on, and the water was not too bad when I was wading around knee deep. But when I got out over to this hole, which has got to be, 8 feet deep, where the current was flowing, you could feel a huge difference in that incoming tide coming off the Gulf. And so I'm realizing here that this is going to be a pretty short dive because I'm getting cold and I don't have a wetsuit. Although I do now. I just ordered one, but at the time I didn't. So it's getting really cold, and I figured I need to just take a fish here, not spend too much time looking around. But the sheephead are actually kind of curious. And I've been seeing a lot of schools of sheephead out on the flats and around different docks. But they're all, 10 to 15 inches. There were some stud sheephead like that guy right there. There was just some monsters in here. They're in shore right now for the spawn, and I guess another month or so, and then they'll be all done with that, and they'll be looking real skinny and scrawny and heading back offshore. But this pocket, I'm gonna have to keep this spot to myself. It was loaded with fish. All right, starting to get cold. Let's pull the trigger here. And I miss. I don't know how I miss. But as I grab the line, I'm pulling in. I'm like, no, I got something. I got a fish on. And sure enough, the fishing's so good, I only pulled the trigger 3 times and I got a fish, even when I missed on my second pull here. It looks like it's just a flesh wound, so I just let him run off. Take a look at that in slow-mo. Just grazed him, went right over his head, hit his buddy. Dang it, I gotta get going here. I am shivering. Totally missed a big sheephead. There's so many in there though. I nailed a smaller one, man, right through him. All right, last dive. I've only been at it maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes. And I mean, if I was here for a fish kill with a friend and a cooler, I could have limited out, well, on a warmer day. It's kind of a bummer. I wanted to swim down along the mangrove line and just see what else was out there. See if there's any snook or redfish hanging around, of course, just to look at. You can't spearfish, game fish, but I also would like to go out and do a little bit of mullet shooting, but I did take a swing and a miss at a school of mullet earlier, but they're difficult to hit. But anyway, this is going to be it. I'm like, okay, I need to get over there. First good sized fish that comes in my face, I'm taking them. And I'm getting out because I am getting cold and it's not very comfortable. Tell you what, I haven't, being a Florida boy and not in too many situations where you're cold, and man, freezing to death would suck. Of course, dying in any way, I guess, would be pretty bad, but it was just not comfortable. I was biting my tongue when I was spitting out the salt water, and just not fun. It really stunk because this was such a cool spot. So here I go, good sized fish, a little further out than I wanted, but nailed him. And this was a better one. This was one of the better ones, not the biggest. Like I said, a few of them big ones hanging on the bottom with no stripes on them were huge, but this is a big sheephead. This is a full-grown sheephead right here. Put it right through him. Not a kill shot, but definitely immobilized him. Heck yeah. That's a stud sheephead right there. Blew the side of his head out. Man. Whew. I don't know how much more I can take of this though. It is cold. Look at them teeth, man. Look at the chompers on that thing. It's a big old sheephead. Heck yeah. I don't know if I'm totally converted, but it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Quite a bit different than hook and line fishing. It's kind of weird staring your dinner in the eye and then shooting them, but man, that's awesome. So that's 2. That's enough sheephead. If I can warm up here, I'd like to go explore a little bit, but man, it's cold. I wouldn't mind shooting a mullet or a snapper. There's a few big snapper in there. But golly, I gotta get more meat on my bones or something. Whew. Howdy.
What are those guys?
Sheephead. Yeah. All right, well, guys, there was a bunch of guys at the dock, captain here cleaning fish next to me, and customers walking around. So I don't really like talking to the camera in front of people. And so I just cleaned these guys up. I was going to do a full catch, clean, and cook, but I'm just going to show you the catching and the cleaning. These pelicans here, beautiful big white pelicans. They're snowbirds. The brown pelicans you see, they're here year round. And you can feed them little pieces of scraps like the belly fat and little pieces. Actually, don't feed them, but you can throw those overboard and they will eat them. But don't throw carcasses over. I've seen them swim off with like a sheephead this big in their mouth, just too dumb to know, and get spun around sideways and then they choke out and die. So don't feed flipper and don't feed the pelicans. But a couple of nice slabs of meat came off this fish, and I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the video, and going to be doing some more of this definitely through the rest of the winter and spring. So after that, I'll get back into more, redfish and snook fishing. So thanks for watching. All right, well, I got a couple pounds of meat there. Let's take them back and fry them up. Tell you what, it's amazing. I was freezing, literally shivering, and now I'm nearly sweating standing here in the sun cleaning these fish. Man, it is such a beautiful day today. If I wasn't swimming, I could have stayed out all day. This is what Florida's all about. 78 degrees with a cool breeze.